Today, here we go. Pat Mahomes and Drew Brees were named the starting quarterbacks. See, have Brees and Mahomes been the best quarterbacks in their conferences?
Yeah, I mean, who else? Who else would be better than them? Phillip Rivers, we can talk to him about Patty Mahomes, but it's nice. He's having a nice season. It's a good story. But Patty Mahomes is having the historic type of season that we see a guy that's going to be the MVP. Drew Brees, off to a tremendous start, has kind of come back to the pack as far as efficiency, yards, and touchdown. But he's had a tremendous season as far as his completion percentage and his team having that outstanding record that they do.
Patrick Mahomes is like a shortstop, man. Any arm angle you need to throw it from, I can throw it accurately across the diamond, hit my first baseman, and then his ability to manipulate defense with his eyes as a young quarterback. I wasn't sold coming out. I thought, okay, he'll have his struggles. You know what? You got me. Good for you, because you have been absolutely phenomenal, as has Drew Brees. But Patty Mahomes, unbelievable what he's done.
All right, sticking with the Pro Bowl, the Chargers lead the NFL with 7 selections. Here we go. Phillip Rivers, Mike Pouncey, Melvin Ingram, Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen, Derwin James, and Adrian Phillips all headed to Orlando. Nick, are the Chargers the most complete team in the NFL?
Now that they have Joey Bosa back, they're making the strongest case for it, because they can beat you so many different ways. You mentioned their quarterback, their #1 wide receiver, and their running back all make the Pro Bowl. And then guys at each level of their defense make the Pro Bowl. I'm happy Derwin James, even as a rookie, got his just due. Some other rookies I thought got left out that should have been there. Derwin's been spectacular, playing both safety spots for them. Yeah, I mean, they are as the most well-rounded team in the league right now.
Yeah, very, very talented and well coached. 11 wins. New Orleans, only team that has more than that. They deserve getting that number of players in the Pro Bowl.
All right, finally, news out of Carolina. On Monday, after losing to the Saints, Cam Newton went into great detail about his injured shoulder. The assumption was that he's been hampered by it for weeks now, but yesterday his head coach, Ron Rivera, said he still plans to start Cam unless told otherwise by the medical staff. Stink, you're calling the Panthers game this Sunday. What do you make of all this?
Well, I mean, there's no question when you watch Cam Newton, and Chris and I got to see him up close and personal in Cleveland. When you watch him, he's hampered. When you watch him, he's injured. The thing about playing in the National Football League, once you step on the football field, injuries aren't an excuse. You got to play well. He hasn't played well enough down the stretch. There's no question that's not an excuse. There's a reason he hasn't played well, and that's because his shoulder is messed up. And you can see him labor at times. You can see him change his mechanics at times. There are a few throws a game, maybe 5 or 6 throws a game, and most of them are in critical situations because it's under duress. You've got to make it. It's a 3rd down and long. You've got to make a throw where you can see all his mechanics change, and it comes out of his hand, and it just looks ugly.
So why not shut him down?
Well, you still have the hope of somehow miraculously finding your way into the playoffs. I don't think it's going to happen. I think here's the deal. You're going to play him because you still have the hope of making the playoffs. And then Heineke is your backup quarterback right now?
Here's my concern. Is in 2016, he was dealing with a shoulder issue, not as significant.
Right.
And in week 17, they didn't have any hope of making the playoffs. And Ron Rivera talked about how he had talked to Cam wanting to shut him down. Cam basically fought his way into the lineup and played that entire game. I don't think it's just that they have the hope. I think it's that they are potentially leaving too much of this up to the player. Here's the hope for the Panthers. They go 2-0. The Vikings don't win again. The Eagles don't win again. And then Washington doesn't win again. That scenario, then they get in. Almost any other scenario, they're out. So they do have, I think it's like less than a 2% chance of making the playoffs. Right. So I don't think it can be just, oh, our season's still alive. I would like to think, even with a strong-willed franchise quarterback, that at some point it's up to the organization to take the decision out of his hands.
Sure.
And if you're risking potential long-term damage or even further damage, or just not getting a head start on recuperation, the 2018 season is a lost one for Carolina. I would start working on 2019 as soon as possible.
Here's the problem, though. The medical advice you get in the National Football League is you can't do any further damage by playing with it, which is baloney. Because what ends up happening to you when you play on injured joints like he's playing on, there's a certain amount of degenerative change that takes place by playing that way, and you can have it operated on and you can have it cleaned up, but it's forever altered. That's the issue that you have. So I'm 100% with you. But, you know, the advice...
So you're with him as far as shut the player down?
I think the organization, if you're going to go that direction, the organization, because the players are going to play. Okay. Players want to play. If you're the organization...
Yeah, because I'm getting ready to ask Stink, the announcer, who gave that I'm with Nick Wright answer compared to Stink, the player. Because I know they're different.
I know they're different. No, I'm playing because, yeah, I will play.
Why are you playing?
Because that's what I do. I'm a football player.
Okay.
I play regardless.
And what else? And what about your accountability to your team?
Absolutely.
Are you not playing because you've been next to a bunch of guys who've been playing injured, and you know they're injured, and you know you're not better than them, and you don't want the organization to set you apart from them, right? That's one of the reasons why we keep playing.
100%. But he's the future of your organization, and if you're the team decides that, hey, this is hurting our organization, you have to be the one to take his helmet and shoulder pads away.
Stink, the player, and Cam, the player, are on the same page. Cam wants to play.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Cam should be playing.
And Cam obviously wants to play. And like Ron Rivera talked about how Cam fought his way to play in 2016. I'm talking about the organization taking the decision out of his hands. I'm not saying the Cam saying
that's the only way that you can get him off the field.
Said than no organization is taking me. The reason why my shoulder is bad now is because I played 2 years with the shoulder, and the reason why has nothing to do with the team.
But do you regret it?
No, I don't regret it, because the commitment my teammates made to me. You know how many times Randall McDaniel was out there playing with bad issues, John Randall playing with issues out there? Do you think they were sitting around saying, hey, man, pull the plug on my season? No, it's about the commitment you make to that team. If you can be out there and the team's got a chance to be able to win, you should be out there for your brothers. Forget the organization. The organization is never going to do anything to benefit you. So now I'm not going to give them control over my career, because you know what? If we were in the playoff hunt, you know what, with the same injury, what they'd be telling me? Oh, no, you're okay. You can't do any more damage. We'll deal with it in the offseason. So you know what? The whole time, I'm in control of my career, and it's based on my teammates and the commitment that they have made to me. If I can be out there, then I'm going to be out there to help support my teammates. No organization is pulling the plug on me, and I've been in this predicament. I came back from a broken collarbone. I missed the last 4 games of the season. Why? To play against this guy in the Washington Redskins. Did you guys not win a Super Bowl championship that year? Yes, and we put them in a dogfight in the wild card game, and I did that because for my teammates, because that is the commitment when you sign up to play football in the NFL. That's the commitment that you have made.
And it goes, I mean, it goes beyond it. And I agree with you. If they're going to shut them down, the organization has to shut them down. And as a player, you're just going to play. And I'll never forget Rod Smith, the greatest receiver ever to play in the Denver Broncos organization. I had a scope on my knee on Monday morning. I had literally had blood trickling out of all 4 holes that were in my knee as I put on my knee sleeve to go out and practice on Friday afternoon. And Rod Smith had the day off because his hamstring was tight. And he comes from the training room and he sees me putting on my knee sleeve. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm getting ready to go to practice. It's like, son of a gun. Then he started getting upset. I go, "What?" And he goes, "Well, man, I can't take a day off with a hammy. Like, if you're going to go out and practice like that, I can't take a day off with a hammy."
One of my favorite quotes is Pat Riley. Pat Riley once came into a locker room in the NBA, and the guy was injured, and he asked him, if this was the playoffs, could you play 10 minutes? Guy was like, "Oh, yeah, absolutely." He said, oh, okay. Then he came back, he said, if this was late in the regular season, we need to clinch a game to get into the playoffs, could you play 10 or 15 minutes? He said, yeah, I think. He said, "Get your ass dressed." Then, all right? So for me, if I can play based on the commitment that I've made, forget the organization, forget my contract, that commitment is what makes sports and it's what makes locker rooms so special.
And you know what? And it's why, believe it or not, and this is going to sound really arrogant, most people haven't been blessed with the ability to play. But you know what keeps more people out than not having the athletic ability is exactly what we're talking about. I will tell you this, though. Think about it now. Can Taylor Heineke, right? I mean, what offense can he run? Like you're talking about a completely different style of human being. Now he throws the ball nice, but you know he is not 6'5", 255.
Agreed on all of these points, but I don't. The point that I think is being missed is everything you're saying is true, but if the coach says you are shut down, no matter what you want, you can't force. You have to listen to the coach. You can't say, no, I'm not. Like, that is the premise of all of pro sports is, even if you disagree with the coach, if he says something.
It's not the premise. The coach is not going to come to you and be able to shut you down. The coach is going to have some respect if you can do your job or not. Do you think you can do your job, Chris? I think I can do my job effective enough that I'm not going to make the team worse. I'm not going to jeopardize that. So there is a partnership. I got the talent. I'm submitting my talent to you, but you're not going to tell me what to do. The organization nor the coach. We can have a conversation about it, and that's about it. We can have a conversation. Ultimately, can they pull the plug on you? Yeah, but I go down kicking and screaming because I'm built to play this game. There's only a few people built to do it, and Cam Newton happens to be fortunate enough. He's been playing since week number 11. Go back and look at the Pittsburgh hit. TJ Watt hit him right on his shoulder, and ever since then, the guy's been different. But I understand what Cam is doing. That's what leadership is about. And there's only a few people who really know what real leadership is about. And with Cam Newton, he's trying to lead the right way.
All right, it's a great conversation. Let's move on to the Saints, though. Despite 3